Hello everyone, welcome back to my latest Star Trek lore video. Today we will be discussing how, unlike the MCU, doppelgangers are a trope that shows up quite often in the various shows and movies in the Star Trek franchise. We will begin with the original series, with the first example being one of the most popular Season 1, Episode 4, The Enemy Within, where a transporter accident splits Captain Kirk into two parts, one good and one evil. Season 1, Episode 5, The Man Trap, the infamous salt vampire impersonates several members of the crew and others, including Nancy Crater, Crewman Green, and Dr. McCoy. And here we see the creature in its natural appearance. Season 1, Episode 9, What Are Little Girls Made Of?, where the technology from an ancient race is used to create a robot duplicate of Captain Kirk, and as it later turns out, scientist Roger Corby as well. Season 1, Episodes 15 and 16, The Menagerie. The Telosians, in an attempt to stall and give the Enterprise time to reach Talos 4, create an illusion of Commodore Jose Mendez. Season 1, Episode 17, Shore Leave. The advanced technology of the Shore Leave planet creates robot duplicates of Captain Kirk's old Academy nemesis Finnegan and his old flame Ruth for him to interact with. Season 1, Episode 20, The Alternative Factor. Contact with an alternate universe brings the Enterprise crew into interaction with two different forms of the individual Lazarus. Season 2, Episode 10, Mirror Mirror, Star Trek's first foray into the mirror universe. Side note on this one, I had to decide how I'm going to count doppelgangers in the mirror universe, since in this case you could, from one perspective, count the entire crew of the Enterprise of 430 as being doppelgangers. However, the decision I decided to make was to count anyone who crosses universes. So in this case, that would be Captain Kirk, Dr. McCoy, Scotty, and Uhura, for a total of 4 doppelgangers in this particular episode. Season 2, Episode 12, I, Mudd. As part of Harry Mudd's penance, several android duplicates of his wife Stella are created to torment him. And while it is implied that there could be as many as 500 of these androids, we see 3 of them on screen. Season 3, Episode 16, Whom Gods Destroy. Former Starfleet Captain Garth of Izar has learned shape-shifting abilities and uses them to impersonate the prison governor, Donald Corey, as well as James T. Kirk and Spock in his attempt to escape from confinement. Season 3, Episode 24, Turnabout Intruder, the last episode of the original series, where crazy Janice Lester uses some alien technology to switch bodies with Captain Kirk so that she is able to take over the Enterprise. Moving over to the animated series, Season 1, Episode 6, The Survivor. A Vandorian shapeshifter impersonates several individuals, including Federation explorer Carter Winston, as well as Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy. In the original series films, we see in the motion picture where the entity V'ger absorbs Lieutenant Idea and creates an exact robot duplicate of her, even including memories are able to be unlocked. And in the final TOS film, the Star Trek 6 Undiscovered Country, the Kamaloid Martia is able to impersonate Captain Kirk once again. He seems to be a popular choice for impersonation. From here we'll move on into the Next Generation. The first example I found being Season 1, Episode 13, Data Lore, where Data's long-lost evil brother Lore is found and reassembled, which is a decision the crew would later regret. Season 1, Episode 21, The Arsenal of Freedom. The ancient weapons system that the Enterprise D crew interacts with creates a projection of Commander Riker's old friend Paul Rice in an attempt to find out information about the Enterprise. Season 3, Episode 5, The Bonding. When Marla Astor is killed during an away mission, the non-corporeal aliens on the planet create a facsimile of her to try to comfort her or now orphaned son. Season 3, Episode 18, Allegiance. Aliens attempting to study humanity and other races kidnap Captain Picard and replace him with an alien impersonator. Season 4, Episode 3, Brothers. Lore shows up again and causes more mayhem when he once again impersonates his brother Data. Season 6, Episode 12, Ship in a Bottle. For those of us who've been following the Sequest reviews on Life with Matthew's channel, you may be wondering what happened to Dr. Westphalen after the end of Season 1. Well, it turns out that she somehow time traveled into the future, into the 24th century, and somehow her image was used to portray the Countess Bartholomew, the love of Moriarty in the holodeck. Season 6, Episode 13, Aquael. A coalescent organism kills and impersonates Starfleet officer Keith Roca, and later also takes on the form of a dog. Season 6, Episode 23, Rightful Heir. Klingon clerics create a clone of their revered leader Kahless and try to pass him off as the real thing. However, their ruse is eventually discovered. Season 6, Episode 26, and Season 7, Episode 1, Descent Parts 1 and 2. To date, the last appearance of Data's evil brother Lore in the franchise. Even though they do not impersonate each other in this episode, I included it for the sake of thoroughness. Season 6, Episode 24, Second Chances, one of the probably most well-known examples of a doppelganger in Star Trek. A transporter accident several years in the past creates a copy of William T. Riker, who is stranded on the planet, and as he is rescued and goes on with his life, he chooses to go by the name of Thomas. Season 7, Episode 3, Interface. While Geordi is operating a probe to investigate a trapped starship, a subspace being takes on the form of his mother, Sylva LaForge, in an attempt to communicate with him. Season 7, Episode 10, Inheritance. Data meets another member of his family, who everyone believes, including herself, that she is the wife of his creator Noonien Soong, but is later discovered that she herself is a very sophisticated android duplicate. Moving into the final TNG film, Nemesis, there are a couple of doppelgangers. First of all, we have the clone Shinzon, who is intended by the Romulans to impersonate Captain Picard, although they later abandoned this plan with the change of government. Also, Data meets another of his long-lost brothers, named B4, although this one is much less sophisticated than him in the lore. So that brings us to the end of our Doppelganger video Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2, where we go over Doppelgangers and some of the later series in Star Trek. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a nice day.